What's going on, buddy? King Kyle here, back with another video. Today, we will be doing an NFL mock draft 2.0. It's been a while since I did my first one, but let's get right into it, and here we go. So, for the first pick, it's pretty obvious there. We have Jaguars selecting Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. Second, we have Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. These are top two people. 3 after the trade for the San Francisco 49ers to select Justin Fields with a third pick. Justin Fields here, Ohio State. Remember, he had 6 touchdowns in the playoffs against Clemson and Trevor Lawrence. Okay. Then we're going to move on to number 4. Number 4 will be Atlanta Falcons selecting Kyle Pitts, tight end from Florida. Now, Kyle Pitts is just a really big-built tight end. He could be used as a wide receiver too, but the number one need for the Falcons is definitely a tight end, as they really don't have a solid one as of right now. Then we have the Bengals, who really need some help after last year Joe Burrow getting injured, so they definitely need some more help on the offensive line. So they'll select Penei Sewell from Oregon. Then with the 6th pick, we have the Miami Dolphins. After selecting Tua in the first round last year, they'll select Jamar Chase, wide receiver from LSU, with their 6th pick. For more receiving options, definitely a need. Good pick for them. Then we have the Detroit Lions, who just never seem to really get on path here with the winning record. They're going to select Jalen Waddle, who could have been Heisman winner if he did not get hurt. Very possible that he could have won it. But he got injured during the season that I could have hurt his draft stock, but I still have him at 7th. Then here we go, we're into 8th now. So the Panthers, up until a couple weeks ago, when they traded for Sam Darnold, their need was a quarterback. But since they have Sam Darnold now, there's no need for a quarterback, so they're going to get some more protection on the line and get Rashawn Slater from Northwestern with their 8th pick. Then 9th here. The Broncos definitely need some more defensive help. So they're going to select J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. 6'1", 205 pounds. He will be selected there. Next up, definitely the Cowboys also lacked very heavily on defense this past year. So they're going to get Patrick Surtain from Alabama. He is a great cornerback, and I think he'll be a great fit with the Dallas Cowboys. So that will be the 10th pick, Patrick Surtain, cornerback, Alabama. Then here come the Giants at pick 11. After a year where they suffered, Saquon Barkley suffered his season-ending injury early on, caused the Giants to just not do very good this past year. But maybe they can turn things around by selecting Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner out of Alabama. He is about 160 pounds. And yeah, Devontae Smith. He might not be the strongest of the bunch, but he definitely has got the speed and he can catch the ball, so I like him. Then we have the Eagles with the 12th pick. They're going to go with Caleb Farley, cornerback from Virginia Tech. So Caleb Farley is he's a pretty good corner. And next off, we have the Chargers. And the Chargers want some more protection, just like Burrow wants, for Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is going to be, I think, could be a future Hall of Famer in the way he plays. So I think if he keeps it up, he's just very talented. So let's just take a look at Darsaw here. He's 6'5", 314 pounds, a big guy there. I mean, he was a true freshman, and he proved every season that he kept playing. He's a dominant blocker from the size and length and mobility standpoint. Just overall, just a great player. Alrighty. Then right here, we have the Minnesota Vikings selecting Jalen Phillips with the 14th overall pick. Edge rusher from Miami. So there are 2 edge rushers from Miami that I'm pretty sure going in the first round of my draft. So they have he is 6'5", 258. So he's a big guy. He's a 5-star recruit. He played at UCLA for his first 2 seasons before transferring over to Miami, where it all came together in 2020 to help his draft stock out. So that was big for him transferring to get his draft stock boosted. Then we have Mac Jones, who some people might think, 49ers at 3rd overall pick might go for him, but I really don't think so. I think the New England Patriots are going to select Mac Jones, kind of like a Tom Brady type player. He's a deep arm, long arm thrower, not that mobile of a player, but overall I think he's going to be great for the Patriots because that's their one need. They addressed a lot of needs at wide receiver and tight end and linebacker and defensive line during free agency. So now they're one piece. They need someone to sit behind Cam Newton for about half a year and then or just start right away. But definitely need a new franchise quarterback for the Patriots. Next up, right here, we have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Micah Parsons from Penn State. He is a 16th overall pick, and he is the first linebacker to go in this draft. Next up, we have offensive tackle from Oklahoma, Tevin Jenkins. He's a pretty strong dude here at 6'6", 315 pounds. 37 games, 35 starts at Oklahoma State. Played different positions. He's got right guard, left tackle, right tackle. So all the different experience could really just help him in the NFL with his team if he needs to be more versatile. So next up, right now, we have the Miami Dolphins. They're going to be selecting Kwity Paye from Michigan, edge rusher. Then we have, as we resume here, we have Jeremiah Owusu Koramoah. I don't know how to pronounce it, from Notre Dame. As you can see here, 6'2", 216. Let's see a little bit about him. He's an impact player, impact defender in the NFL, undeniable level of explosion. Ideal match from a team perspective, be one that wants to stay in their base defensive personnel. I mean, he's versatile. He can shine brightly against spread sets. Just a lot of great stuff here. In 2020, he took a big step forward, so that really helped boost his draft stock. A lot of people in these last 2 years, it just really helped them a lot boost their draft stock. Alrighty, let's see. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears, who definitely need a new quarterback after drafting Trubisky a couple years ago with the 3rd pick, who was an absolute bust. I mean, bust. He was pretty bad. He's pretty bad still. And the Bears have a great defense, so they need no defensive help right now. They just need a new solution at quarterback, and I think Trey Lance could go. Yes, I think he could fall to 20. Everyone has all the quarterbacks going in the top 10, but I think Trey Lance would be the one quarterback to actually fall to 20 because the Bears definitely do need one. So let's look at Trey Lance here, the last at the top of the top quarterbacks. He plays a position with good athleticism, as evidenced by his ability to get out of the pocket and extend plays with his legs. Very fast player. His mobility and footwork seem to have developed. He's a threat to move the chains with his legs. He's a passer, seems to generate velocity with his throws. So he's just overall great player, but he's definitely the last of the top quarterbacks that I think. So now, moving on here, we have the Indianapolis Colts. So one of their needs, this wasn't their top of the top needs because they do have DeForest Buckner at on the defensive line. So they're going to actually get Christian Barmore from Alabama, interior defensive lineman, 6'5", 310, 4-star recruit out of high school. He's a big guy. He was definitely a good part for their team that just won the national championship this year. Next up, with the 22nd pick, the Tennessee Titans select Rashad Bateman. After losing Jonnu Smith and Adam Humphries in free agency, definitely a wide receiver could help boost their offense, who has been pretty good in the past. They've been pretty solid, but I definitely think after those 2 losses, they definitely could use another receiver. So the Titans are going to get another receiver, Rashad Bateman, out of Minnesota. Alrighty. Now we're getting to the Jets pick. They stole Seattle Seahawks, sadly, because we traded for Jamal Adams, so they get the 23rd pick, as they also had a 2nd pick. They are going to select Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher from Georgia. So the Jets really, to be honest, don't have much of anything. I mean, they're going to get Zach Wilson. They have a good left tackle, a couple good wide receivers, I guess, but it's really neat. They're definitely still in a rebuild. So they're going to get Azeez Ojulari, edge from Georgia, 6'3", 240 pounds. Alrighty. Next up, the Steelers. So after losing James Conner in free agency, their number 1 running back, they definitely need a new one like Najee Harris. I call him a big power back. I mean, he was great, especially during the playoffs this past year, the college football playoffs. He was great jumping over guys. I mean, he reminds me of Derrick Henry. That's what Najee Harris reminds me of. And I think the Steelers already have a great defense, great team overall, maybe a little help on offensive line too, after Pouncey retiring and Villanueva leaving. They could use that, but at the same time, running back is also a big need, because right now, the number 1 running back is Benny Snell Jr. Alrighty. So this will be the Jaguars' 2nd pick of the first round. After selecting Trevor Lawrence with their 1st overall pick, they're going to select Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle from Alabama. So 2 Alabama players here going in a row. And I love Alex Leatherwood. He is a big guy at 6'5", 312. He played both guard and offensive tackle at Alabama. He's got a big, towering, filled-out frame. He has pretty adequate strength as a run blocker, but he's able to attach and drive defenders out of desired areas. He's very aggressive, and that's a key ingredient, thing in his success in the run game. So that's why he's a pretty good run blocker, because of his aggressiveness. And he can overpower certain people. And as a pass protector, he's a clean pass set. He's able to gain ground up the field in order to stymie rushers with to simply attack them vertically. So there's Alex Leatherwood. We'll be going to the Jacksonville Jaguars to give Trevor Lawrence some more protection, just like the other quarterbacks. Everyone needs offensive line. They get undershadowed. People don't think them as that important, but you saw how the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl because they had no offensive line. But now they addressed a lot of those in free agency, so that's good for them. Next up, the Cleveland Browns will select Joe Tryon, edge rusher from Washington State. 6'4", 251, Joe Tryon will be going to the Cleveland Browns. They also got Jadeveon Clowney in free agency, so even though I think he's a little bit washed up, even though he was a former 1st overall pick, he hasn't played very well the last couple of years, so I think they'll be a pretty decent pass rush with them too, plus Myles Garrett. Alrighty, moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, who made a trade to get the 31st pick, but right now we're on the 27th pick. They'll be getting Trevin Moehrig, so this will be the first safety selected in this draft. He's a safety out of TSU. Let's take a look. 6'1", 208. Let's see. He's a free safety to satisfy multiple roles for the Horned Frogs, TCU. Consistent and urged single high player. He's a free-flowing mover at his best when he's patrolled the middle of the field. He's got 7 career interceptions, so that's pretty good. He's proven up being a consistent ball disruptor, but he's a safety that can change the momentum of games by getting the ball back to his team. So he's a great defender, great at intercepting. And that is Trevin Moehrig. So next up, we have the New Orleans Saints, With the 28th overall pick, they'll be selecting Greg Newsome, 2. Cornerback from Northwestern. So I think he could have gone a little higher, but he fell to the Saints, and I think that's a perfect fit for them. And I think the Saints in the second round will select someone maybe like Kyle Trask or something, because I wouldn't go quarterback for first round for them, but definitely in the second round they could go for one. Alrighty, getting to the end of this here. We have Green Bay Packers selecting Zaven Collins. So he fell to 29th. Some people might have had him earlier, but I fell him 29th, and he's a linebacker from Tulsa. I mean, this guy is great. 6'4", 260. High school career in Zaven Collins, a 4-year starter at quarterback and linebacker safety. Tulsa was the only Division I program to offer him a scholarship, so they're the only team to give him the chance. He ended his college career by claiming the Bronco Nagasaki Trophy, which awarded to the nation's best defensive player. So he basically won Best Defensive Player of the Year in college. Collins offers an exciting blend of size, length, and power, and plus football intelligence, which is key to just knowing the game. And he's versatile, which makes him even better. Dynamic prospect for the NFL. So what a great pickup for the Green Bay Packers. Their linebacking room is not very strong. They have a good D-line, good cornerbacks, good O-line, good quarterback, good running back, good receivers. So I definitely think linebacker was their biggest need. Alrighty. Number 30, we'll go with the Buffalo Bills. They're going to select Elijah Moore from wide receiver from Ole Miss. So this was a player who I'm pretty sure did very well during the, the senior game that they played. So he's a 4-star athlete, 5'9", 184. He fell because of his height. He is undersized at 5'9" compared to other receivers. So that did hurt his draft stock. But I still think he is just a great player. And yeah, good fit with the Bills. And here are the Ravens, after a trade today, sending away offensive tackle Orlando Brown to the Kansas City Chiefs for the 31st pick. So the Chiefs have no first-round picks this year. The Ravens will select edge rusher from Penn State, Jason Awia. Let's take a look at Jason here. 6'5", 257. Development edge defender at the pro level. He's got rare length and athletic tools. He has plenty of potential, and his ceiling as a prospect is at a 10-plus sack per season. Pass rusher, very impressive. He's probably going to be a 10-plus sack player this year in the NFL. There's explosiveness, bend, length, and ample room to build onto his frame. But any team drafting him early is going to have to do so with the understanding that there's probably going to be an incubation period before he starts in the NFL. So he's going to need some time to maybe sit behind a veteran or just play limited snaps to start off and learn just to get better. And concluding this here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the 32nd pick in the 2021 NFL Draft select interior offensive lineman Elijah Vera Tucker. So this is a player who was projected to go 22nd, but I had him falling here because no one else really had the need of offensive line in that much. So here is Elijah Vera Tucker from USC, 6'4", 300. He's predominantly left tackle this season for the Trojans, and he's got amazing athleticism, as evidenced by his balance and body control in the pass set. He's an easy mover who demonstrates his athleticism in the passing game, particularly in his kick slide. He plays very good with competitiveness when he is bull rushed. In the run game, he comes off ball hard to strike, and he excels by getting his body in favorable positions. Alrighty, that is going to conclude the draft. I want to thank everyone for watching. This is King Kyle, out.